Welcome to another Achieving Science video. Within this video we're going to look at corrosion. Let's begin by looking at a question. The Mary Rose is a famous ship that sunk. When it was recovered, divers found cannons that were made of iron that had not rusted. But why? How could this have happened? Think about what is rust and what is needed for something to rust. Well, the answer is, if we look at corrosion, this is the name given to the process whereby a metal is gradually damaged by reacting with substances in the environment. Rusting being an example. Rusting then requires some basic things. First of all, it requires iron, so the metal that rusts. It requires oxygen, and it requires water. So these cannons that were found under the sea, one of these elements was missing. Well, they were iron cannons, so it wasn't iron. They were surrounded by water, so it wasn't water. So it was likely to be that oxygen was being prevented from reaching them. Maybe they were surrounded by mud, for example. So rust is then iron 3 oxide. The equation for it is iron plus water plus oxygen produces hydrated iron 3 oxide. So what's the problems with rusting? Well, it occurs on the surface of metal, and it makes the surface crumbly and soft. Over time, this rust then flakes off and exposes the layer underneath it, which then can further rust. Eventually, the whole object maybe will corrode away completely. Is it just iron then that rusts? Is it just iron that corrodes? Well, let's have a look. The metal aluminium is used a lot for manufacturing food containers like drinks, foil trays, as well as on buildings and on vehicles. But why? If it could corrode, wouldn't this be harmful? Won't it just corrode away completely? Well, aluminium does corrode. But when it reacts with oxygen, it forms aluminium oxide. This aluminium oxide doesn't flake off like rust does. Instead, this layer acts as a protective layer for the rest of the metal underneath. So this is good.